This is pretty overwhelming to be here and see all of this, and walk in here and see so many old friends. And I'm standing here looking around, seeing all these trumpet players. I thought, what a hand grenade could do to the music industry right now. I'm absolutely overwhelmed by this showing of dear friends and all of that. And it's difficult for me to speak under these conditions because I'm a little bit choked up by it. But I want to start off here by saying thanks to Ian Franklin and Steve Adcock and Des and the Yamaha people who've participated in this horrific tour. This is something I was asked to do about 9 or 10 months ago, is to see if I would be willing to tour out throughout Europe for a period of time and just do some little hits and runs around. And it was presented to me as a very casual kind of a thing, and I said, sure, that'd be fun, you know. And as the bookings got more and more intense, it got more and more undesirable for me, sitting there looking at it. But it has been a challenge, and I barely can remember what country I'm in. I've been out here for I don't know how long, like 2.5 weeks or something like that. And I have another about a week and a half or so to go. It's to Stockholm tomorrow, and a couple days there, and then to Oslo for a few days, and I believe I'm going home after that, you know, and hopefully not in a pine box. But this has been really absolutely wonderful, and I'm able to Skype this wonderful technology. I can be in contact with my better half on a fairly regular basis and let her know that I'm not dead yet. And but I give her reports, and she can tell in my voice that I'm having a great time, and I really am. And every place that I've been the treatment has been glorious. All of the people have just been. It's been red carpet for me everywhere. You know, the people have treated me beautifully, taken care of business. It's getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning and dashing off to someplace, another airport, and checking in and getting in a wheelchair and heading through the hallways of Schiphol Airport or something like that, you know. And those are the miserable parts. But getting off of the plane and getting the bags into the hotel and getting into the car and showing up and standing in front of a youth band and talking about music it's always a delight. And the two things that I talk to the students about invariably, no matter where I go and no matter how old those students might be. And some of them, I've done some geezer clinics here and there too, you know, with no children in there, and the youngest guy might be 68 years old, you know. But I talk to them about, you know, why are we doing all of this? And I assume that the majority of you in here are trumpet players. Some of your faces I recognize. The rest of you, I hope, are trumpet players. If you're not, you might want to find the door and get the fuck out of here.
and you kids.
Did I say a word?
Yeah, and the children.
No, you know, but the things I talk to the students about invariably is, why do we do all of this? What's it all for? You know, why do we buy these things and gadgets and buy an Arbenz book and all this stuff and sit and do stuff? And quite often we get so involved in trying to get our chops together and figure the right mouthpiece and, you know, keep the valves going up and down and all that stuff. You know, we lose the sight of what this is all about. You know, and it's it's why I'm here and why I do these things, is because of the joy of being able to play a musical instrument and have fun doing it. You know, and you can say fun, and you can do that in small letters, or you can do it in capital letters, or you can do it in big neon signs. But it's the total joy of being able to play a musical instrument and do it with each other, you know, without sticking each other in the back too often, you know, and things of that sort. But so I remind the kids that what's important more important than whether they have a job in music is whether they have a life in music, you know. And that a job in music probably means that you'll play a lot of stuff that you wish you didn't have to play. And I'm sure you understand that. How many times does a human being have to play Proud Mary, you know, or a Beatles medley or something like that? But anyway, I think there's a wonderful brotherhood amongst us trumpet players, you know, and in spite of the fact that we envy each other all the time and think that we're better than the guy sitting next to us, and of course we know we are, but the guy next to us doesn't realize it yet. But it's, to me, it's a beautiful bunch of people to hang with, you know, and my many years of being able to tour in the UK under different circumstances. The first days were back in the days of Woody Herman and Buddy Rich and Louis Bellson and some of the big bands that I came over here with. But aside from that, being a member of a big band, I've had the good fortune to come over here as a soloist and perform with various bands in the little pubs and various venues through the country. And I just want to pay a special thanks to the first guy that brought me over, and that's Paul Davis.
Cheers. Cheers.
So Paul was on his honeymoon in Los Angeles. Was that right? It was a honeymoon. He and Maxine were over there, and so Paul decided he might take a lesson or two with me. And after a couple of lessons, whatever I must have said to him inspired him. And next thing I knew, he was bringing me over here. And what was the name of the pub?
Sally Park Tavern.
Dieter.
Sally Park Tavern.
Oh, it was Sally Park, yeah. Right near the BBC studios, wasn't it? So Paul was the first guy who brought me over here as a soloist and linked up with Ernie Garside and all of that. And we did, what, 23 straight years, I think, with Ernie. And I mean, I've probably seen places in England that most of you people have never even knew existed, you know. Most of them pubs, I'd say, I guess. But it is a special place for me, you know, coming over here. And yeah, it's always cold and rainy, you know, and that part of it is not pleasant for me. But to come over here and feel at home is great, you know. Unfortunately, my doctor has given me strict orders not to do what I used to do over here so much, you know. No more barley wine tours through the pubs. The first one was with Bobby Pratt back in the old days, and when we came over, and Bobby Pratt met all of us at the Talk of the Town with Buddy Rich's band and took the whole trumpet section to a barley wine festival and introduced us to it and drug us all over town and didn't let us go to sleep for 2 days. And that was our a great, to think back that we got a chance to hang with Bobby Pratt for a couple of days was really very special. But we used to knock back a fair number of pints in the old days, and now my liver is trying to get rid of me. So I'm on strict orders, but I'm going to change doctors. But this is absolutely glorious to be here and see all of you.
You did say.
Oh, it's Greg Wild, there you are, hiding. Look at him. 13 years old, I think he has his first lesson. Is that right? I think 13, yeah. Is Georgina here today?
Yeah.
She's behind you, Bobby.
There she is, hey. I love that new CD of yours. Great. She was 13 with her first lesson too. I mean, she didn't come up to as high as my knees, honestly. She was so anyway, it's great to be here. I have to say, I'm just overwhelmed by this, and I'm looking forward to. I'm going to have a second pint with you somewhere along the line. But I don't know what else to say. I just thank you so much. I'm just thrilled to be here, and this is a wonderful feeling for me. So wait till my wife hears about this one, you know. So anyway. I'm just touched by your presence. Thank you all very much.